More Hermitcraft drama, new spring drop features, legacy console edition priority, false copyright claims, Mojang being caught for bad Photoshop, and Minecraft YouTuber gerg exposed as being racist. This week in Minecraft has been a little crazy to say the least. Hi, I'm Catmanjo and welcome to another episode of my weekly series called This Week in Minecraft, where just as the name suggests, we talk about everything that's happened within the Minecraft ecosystem in the past week. This week I'll be talking about a lot of different things, so just before we get started I'd like to remind you that there will be timestamps to specific subjects in the description of this video, so if you're interested in something specific or looking for something specific, check out there. But otherwise, let's get into this week's news. So starting this week's Minecraft news, more drama has happened within the Hermitcraft community. Now I say more drama because if you somehow don't already know, a few weeks ago the Hermitcraft community was flung into a heap of drama after one of the former members of Hermitcraft called Escal85 posted a video titled I Got Cancelled. And to give you a bit of a brief synopsis of the entire thing, back in November, members of Hermitcraft had allegedly been presented with multiple complaints regarding Escal, and asked him to attend a hearing to explain himself, which he did not do and instead chose to retire from Hermitcraft. Upon Escal leaving, another member called Stress Monster also left, and the Hermitcraft members chose to make a public statement regarding the entire situation. Then, a little over 2 months later, with no new information shared, Escal posted his video talking about everything that happened from his point of view. The video itself is 11 minutes long and contains a lot of information that I can't easily dumb down, but he essentially says he did nothing illegal, that he contacted the police and a lawyer once the situation began, and that due to the situation, people now think he's an abuser, which has heavily affected not only his livelihood, but also his mental health. If you are interested in learning more about the entire situation, I covered it in one of my previous episodes of This Week in Minecraft, which I'll have pop up on the screen right now, and I'll also as well have Escal's video linked down below in the description. Anyway, this new drama is not regarding Escal, thankfully. Instead, it's regarding essentially all the Hermitcraft members, but mainly Pearlescent Moon and Gemini Tay. So this started over on Twitter, where a user called Zombie Wood tweeted out saying, "Not to get into drama, but I think it's incredibly valid for people to not want to see fan art of them snogging their friends actually." Alongside this tweet, they also shared a photo to give more context on what they were responding to, which was a tweet from a thread regarding Hermitcraft fan art by a user called Rocket Road Ryan. Now to go over this thread, because it is important to this as it's the main context behind the drama, it starts with Rocket saying, "There's a real problem in this fandom now where every fan creation is for content creators instead of for fans. Content creators are breathing down our neck on Twitter and Tumblr. Many projects like Traffic Zine are expected to be shared with them. The by fans for fans atmosphere has slowly dissipated over time. It has stood out to me in projects like HGCZ and the recent AO3 video on YouTube. Fandom creators feel like they have to pander to content creators for their work to be respected. That doesn't feel right to me at all. No other fandom is like this. Not to mention how content creators feel entitled to us as well. Recently Pearl and Gem called out people on Tumblr who main tag ship art, but that's literally what you're supposed to do on Tumblr. That's how tags work. Why do they think they have a right to change that?" Now these three tweets gathered a lot of attention and started a big conversation about whether or not it was right for people to ship members of Hermitcraft or even make fan art of members engaging in sometimes sexual acts with other members. And looking at the responses, it certainly felt like the majority agreed with it not being appropriate, with users such as Ranlaugh responding, "I don't want to see ship art of me and my friends when trying to appreciate fan content, so please tag it differently. It's completely reasonable and in no way entitlement. To be a fan of someone, you should respect them." Along with Emma Tay saying, "It's different from other fandoms because the content creators are much more closely connected to their characters than, let's say, an author would be. While I get where you're coming from, I think it's fair enough to not want to see something you associate with yourself kissing one of your friends." And Infinite saying, "The reason this fandom has that is because the content creators are real people, and real people have real boundaries. Fan works even in the past have not been purely for fans. Yes, fandoms are meant to be for the community or meant to be a community for people to be friends, but it's also a way to appreciate someone's work." Now this conversation grew and grew until it got to the point where members of Hermitcraft, specifically Pearlescent Moon and Gemini Tay, actually responded, with Pearlescent Moon first saying, "The ultimatum is that I just don't look on Tumblr anymore. It's personally not stuff that I'm interested in seeing, so I'll block the tags it has. If people want to main tag it, then add a shipping tag so I can block and they can go about their way. The last thing I want people to feel is that I'm invading a space they don't want me in. I don't want to force anyone to change anything. I just don't want to see things that people probably don't want me to see in the first place." Then Gemini Tay responded saying, "They can fight me, I'm not leaving Tumblr and I refuse to be chained to Twitter to see fan art." Additionally, another member of Hermitcraft called Wells Knight added his own opinion on the entire situation saying, "Personally, I don't care about Wells/Hell's Knight shipping, fanfics, whatever. Have at it, even though I'm unlikely to look at it. Those characters are not really me. They're more like a mascot of the channel. Different creators have different comfort levels with the idea though, and I'm sure it's a lot wider when the character people are shipping is literally you instead of some silly guy wearing medieval armor and carrying a sword around. This may come as a shock to some of you, but I don't actually wear plate mail armor IRL or have any training with swords. Sorry to disappoint." So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on who you think is right and wrong in this situation and why in the comment section, but it was quite an interesting thing to read through. Moving on to our next bit of news from the past week though, we've got the new Minecraft Bedrock update that was released called 1.21.60, which brought not only several new experimental features from the upcoming spring drop to Bedrock, but also multiple quality of life improvements to the game that I'm sure many old console players like myself will be happy to see. So getting into the Minecraft.net article for the update, it says, "Hold on tight because this changelog is quite a pig deal. Not only have we fixed a bunch of bugs, there are also several features available in the experimental toggle. Meet the 2 new pig variants trotting into the overworld, make leaves fall from trees, and get a simpler recipe for the lodestone so you can find your way back home more easily. Just enable the Drop 1 2025 experimental toggle to test these out. Then scrolling down, we've got the new experimental features now available on Bedrock, which include the 2 new warm and cold pig variants and where they spawn, along with the new leaf particles and recipe changes to the lodestone. Then we've got a bunch of other things including accessibility, achievements, audio, biomes, and block changes, but I'm not going to go over all of those as they're rather small and specific. What I'm going to cover that I thought was really interesting from this update was, for starters, Mojang bringing back a Minecraft Legacy Console Edition feature that many old console players have asked for, and that is the ability to pause the game. Now, I'm aware that for some of you that sounds really silly as well, because obviously you can pause the game, can't you? Well, technically, yes, if you are a Java or a Legacy Console Edition player, but if you are a Bedrock player, no you can't. See, in Minecraft Bedrock Edition, when you play single player in an offline or online world, if you pause your game, it doesn't actually pause the game, meaning mobs are still moving around you and the time is still ongoing. This has been something that players have complained about for literally years, yet Mojang has seemingly never cared enough to change anything, but finally in this new article we heard some new news regarding the ability to pause. Mojang said the pause functionality will only be available in beta and preview for the time being. We know you're super excited to be able to pause in Bedrock, however we need a bit more time to perfect this feature before we can release it to you. Thanks for your patience and understanding as we work to bring you the best possible experience. So yeah, the ability to pause is finally come to Bedrock, just not fully yet. But I have got to give Mojang their flowers where they're due, and them adding the pause function to Bedrock is a huge quality of life improvement, so they definitely do deserve credit for that. But another quality of life feature that Mojang added in this update that I want to talk about was the profanity toggle. Now, for those of you who are unaware, people have complained for years that Mojang needs to add a toggle or option to turn on or off their profanity filter, as not everyone who plays their game is underage and shouldn't be forced to speak a certain way in their own realms or multiplayer worlds. Well, it looks like Mojang have finally listened and added the new profanity toggle. They share more details in the 1.21.60 article regarding the toggle, saying, "Filter profanity toggle. We are introducing a new filter profanity setting on Windows. When on, all text content including chat will perform as it always has. Profanities will be filtered for you and others. When off, most profanities with the exception of some potentially harmful content will be unfiltered for you and all others who also have the toggle off. The setting is default on for all players and cannot be changed for child accounts or players not signed in. You can toggle it off in settings under general." So yeah, another great quality of life feature brought by Mojang that I just hope honestly comes to all Bedrock platforms, not just Windows players, but it is awesome to see. And finally, for the last new feature that I wanted to talk about from this update, we've got old ravines finally coming back. This was mentioned in the world generation section. It says, "Creek and hearts now generate more often than naturally generated pale oaks. Ravines now generate more often. Ravines can once again reach the surface. Ravines can once again generate on the ocean floor. Ravines are now completely carved through copper ore veins and most other underground blocks. Ravines now properly interact with aquifers, filling with water instead of generating as disconnected segments. And finally, fix the issue that caused new terrain generation to not match already saved chunks in some biomes." So yeah, if you love these old school ravines that you'd often walk into unexpectedly and potentially die, then you'll be happy to see or happy to hear that they are now back. Now, I don't want to make it seem like there wasn't a lot of other interesting and awesome new features and changes in 1.21.60 because there certainly was. However, if you are interested in reading the full article for yourself, it will be linked in the description of this video. Now, moving on to our next bit of Minecraft news from the past week, we've got this week's new features coming in the spring drop. We found out about these new features from Mojang when they tweeted out saying, "Test new features that make exploring more rewarding. Find sheep herded into biomes by color. Buy new maps from cartographers. Hear the cozy buzzing from Firefly particles. Strike great new deals with the Wandering Trader. Available for testing now on Bedrock Preview/Beta, coming soon on Java Snapshot." Then they link the Minecraft.net article with all the new features. So jumping over to the article, it begins by saying, "Test new ways of exploring. Find the right wool, buy new maps, and hear the buzzing of fireflies. Explorers gather round. Minecraft's first game drop of 2025 has more features for you to test, and these ones make exploring more rewarding. You can now find sheep herded into biomes by color, buy new maps from cartographers, strike better deals with wandering traders, and hear firefly bushes buzz. Oh, and you can also find bundles in village chests and camels spawning across a desert. What are you waiting for? These features are available for testing in Bedrock Beta/Preview now and are coming to Java Snapshot soon. Let's go." Then scrolling down, we've got sheep spawning. As somebody who takes rug designs very seriously, I have spent far too many Minecraft days frantically sprinting across biomes to find that one specific color wool for my builds, but those days are almost gone. Our developers have kindly herded most sheep into biomes based on their color. Now you'll find most brown sheep in sandy biomes, black sheep in chilly biomes, and white sheep in green biomes. I believe that the developers tried to herd the rest too, but kept falling asleep counting them, so sheep of other colors are still in the loose and spawn all across the overworld. Then we've got new maps for cartographers. Now that you know where the sheep spawn, we thought we'd make it easier for you to find your way there too. Instead of hoping to stumble upon a certain biome or village, you can now buy maps from cartographers which will lead to them. Cartographers can be found in villages and they each sell their own selection of maps. That means the more village types you explore, the more maps you'll find. Then moving further down the article again, we've got updates to the Wandering Traders. The Wandering Traders now have lower prices and more inventory. Speaking of trading, you can now strike some new deals with Wandering Traders. These llama-leading wanderers visit your base occasionally, offering to trade items for emerald. They are now changing their business strategy, not only selling and buying more things, but at lower prices too. From Firefly bushes to potions of invisibility, find out what bargains the Wandering Trader has on offer next time they stop by. And finally, for this week's new features, we've got ambient sounds for the Firefly bush. Should you purchase a Firefly bush or stumble upon one yourself, listen out for a pleasant humming. It will be the new ambient sound coming from the dancing Firefly particles. The Firefly bush went into testing a few weeks ago, and the way it glitters in the night has already added so much atmosphere to the overworld, and now we get even cozier. Now, to share my opinion for a quick second before we move on, although I am once again really happy to see these new features and changes that were showcased, I do feel like Mojang missed a great opportunity to add variants of sheep. Almost everyone in the Minecraft community expected Mojang to add variants for sheep, as they have now done pigs, then cows, and of course last week chickens. But sadly, we just got changed to where certain colours of sheep spawn. And if anyone is saying, well, they couldn't really add variants of sheep because they're all just different colours, well, here's a great example by Reddit user KeyOrchard8993, whose account will be linked in the description, of how Mojang could have actually made multiple variants of sheep if they wanted to. Personally, I think these look really awesome. With the majority of the Minecraft community saying Mojang should have added more variants of sheep, I really do hope that they're going to come back and do this, or at least consider it. Moving on to our next bit of Minecraft news, though, we've got Mojang being caught for being bad at Photoshop. Now, this actually ties into the previous topic where we talked about this week's Minecraft Spring Drop features, as when Mojang released their Test New Ways of Exploring article, the original photos were caught for being not only photoshopped, but also very poorly photoshopped. This was originally pointed out by Twitter user Kaggle Martin, who tweeted out saying, "Interesting, so photoshopped," alongside two photos from the article where Kaggle has circled the clearly poorly done Photoshop. Now, this led to others looking more closely at some of the photos that Mojang has shared in the article, and it led to a few people, of course, making jokes or pointing out the fact that some of these just seem very poorly done, and it just seems like Mojang, for some unbeknownst reason, dislike taking in-game screenshots of new features, and would much rather just add them in Photoshop. But yeah, I just thought it was a bit funny to actually share this. It's not really a big deal or anything kind of dramatic or drama kind of centered, but yeah, just thought you guys would be interested in seeing it. Moving on to our next bit of Minecraft news from the past week, we've got the new teaser trailer for the Minecraft movie being released. Now, hopefully, provided Warner Brothers doesn't strike me down, I'll have the trailer playing in the background right now, but as you can see, we got our first look at a few new things, probably the most visually aggressive being the villagers, which I've got to say just do not look that great at all. Additionally, we also got to see what iron golems look like, what creepers look like when they explode, and what running looks like when you have a green screen behind you. Honestly, although I'm a Minecraft fan, if I wasn't a content creator who made content on this game, or even just someone in general who likes to go see movies at the cinema, I'd likely just skip this movie, as it does not look all that interesting or all that promising. And I hate to be so negative about something that is directly related to one of my favourite video games, but this, along with the Borderlands movie that came out last year, just have let me down so hard that I really just pray this movie is going to be better than it looks. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with it. And that takes us to our next bit of news from within the Minecraft community this week, and that is Warner Brothers illegally filing false copyright claims on videos that use C418's Minecraft music. As if the community couldn't already hate Warner Brothers enough, they pull a stunt like this. So this news started coming out a few days ago when one of the biggest voices in the Minecraft community, called Phoenix SC, made a video titled "Warner Bros is actively blocking Minecraft music on YouTube." Now, I'm not going to repeat what he said in this video word for word, but to give a brief rundown, after he made one of his latest videos called "Mojang Gave the New Chicken Full Netherite," he got an email from YouTube saying that copyrighted content had been found in his video, and due to this, all the revenue from the video was no longer going to him. The copyrighted content in question, by the way, was weirdly enough a remix of the classic Minecraft song Mice on Venus, which is from Volume Alpha, the first Minecraft soundtrack released back in 2011 by C418. Now, the remix that is being claimed is called Mice on Venus, but make it extra nostalgic, and again, it's just Mice on Venus, but just slowed down and slightly altered, but it's not the original C418 version, so it makes no sense why Warner Brothers are claiming that song. Additionally, even if it was the original Mice on Venus song that they were claiming for, it's publicly known that C418 himself owns the rights for all his music he created for Minecraft, which would include Mice on Venus. In fact, it's part of the reason he no longer makes music for Minecraft, as Microsoft wouldn't let him keep full ownership of any new music he released for the game if he had. C418 himself has stated on his website that people can use his music if they want to, as long as they aren't just re-uploading the full versions of the songs themselves without adding anything to them. And in case you're curious, Mojang also allows creators to use their music. They've even got a Minecraft creator safe playlist with over 600 songs that are supposed to be copyright safe. And if you look down the list at number 62, you'll see Mice on Venus. So Warner Brothers illegally taking all the revenue earned by any creator who uses this nostalgic song is not only unbelievable and yet again just adds more fuel to the fire, but is also just generally disgusting in my opinion. It just gives even more people even more of a reason to hate the Minecraft movie itself and not want to support it, so I don't get why they're doing this. But moving on to our next bit of Minecraft news, we've got the Minecraft YouTuber Gerg being exposed as allegedly a racist and overall terrible person. Now, for those of you who don't know who Gerg is, he is a Minecraft YouTuber with over 700,000 subscribers who is well known for his Minecraft shorts and his concept Minecraft minigames. He's also known to be a bit more of an edgy content creator who doesn't really care for sticking to the clean-cut, family-friendly humor that you'll see most Minecraft creators have. Well, just a couple of hours ago, the Worst of Discord Twitter account posted a thread about Gerg saying this: "A few moderators of the YouTuber named Gerg have come forward and sent me screenshots of how he acted behind the scenes. More screenshots are below. Then to go over the 3 screenshots shared in the first tweet, I'll leave them on screen for a second and you can pause to read them if you like, but what is being said personally is just something that's disgusting and stuff that I would personally just rather not repeat, as gerg is just being honestly horrible for no reason, or I should say allegedly being horrible, because of course I don't know if this is actually from him. But as you can see from the screenshots, gerg is coming across as not only mean but also just a horrible person, saying the R word and the F word multiple times and even the M word, which of course I had to censor, but yeah, it's pretty despicable. There was also statements shared from ex-moderators of gerg's Discord and Minecraft server, which were of course an interesting read, but I'm not going to go over all of them right here right now because there was a lot to go over. So if you're interested in reading them, I'll have the link to this original Twitter thread in the actual description of this video. Now gerg himself has actually replied to this drama with a community post on his YouTube channel saying, "Hey gerg, what happened to the Discord server? TLDR, I deleted it because it was causing more problems than it's worth. We'll make a website to host schematics from now on. Full answer, Minecraft server closed due to me being unable to fund it by myself. Upset about this, admins went rogue and destroyed the Discord server. The main admin of the server was behind this. He also spread horrible fake screenshots as well as private information about me which he received from a years-long personal friend of mine. That's why he entrusted them to be real. As it turns out though, that personal friend has been faking stuff about me for close to a year behind my back in secret. Why? Because he has a gay crush on me and I obviously rejected him a year ago. That's the god honest truth, absolutely sociopathic. I just want to play Minecraft, tune into the next video where I torture iron golems. We'll be a tad late this week due to this stupid crap. So yeah, I'll let you take all of this and form your own opinion, which I'd be interested to hear in the comment section. Although of course it is innocent until proven guilty, personally I can't say that I'm all that surprised or that I would be surprised if this is actually legitimate or real, because this is the same guy who made a joke about saying the N-word but with the word pig at the beginning just last week or last month. For context to that, here's a clip from one of gerg's most recent videos talking about the 2 new pig variants Mojang added, which got a ton of hate.
But generally, I really like the texture of this guy a lot more than I do over this pigger over here. Don't worry, I can say that.
So yeah, it's all a mess, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how things develop. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, that is the end of this week in Minecraft. I want to say thank you all so much for watching it. If you did go and enjoy it, please share it with your friends, drop a like, and let me know your thoughts on all of the news that I covered today. Also, be sure to subscribe to the notification bell to stay notified for when I release any other Minecraft news related content on the channel. And that guys, thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.